Hello everyone, this is Northern Firefighter and I say welcome back to this video. It's been a while for me, some things have happened in my life, we'll not go into those, and it's not a bad thing, it's actually good things. Today I will do a different kind of video though, and oh, you heard the beat there, well I'll get into that later. What I will talk about is fire safety actually today. As you know, many of you may not know, I am a real life firefighter, hence the name Northern Firefighter I use. And that is why today I'll do a different video, as I said before, about fire safety. Sorry for my rambling. But I'll talk a bit about this little device today, which is basically for home security. This is, as many of you may recognize, the smoke detector, or as we in Sweden say, the Brandvarnare. And this is basically a very cheap life insurance to make sure that you are awoken in case of a fire. Basically, as it will react to the smoke that comes from it, it will start beeping and alert you, wake you up. You can either, if you have the tools at home, put out the fire or get out of the house and call the fire department so they come to your place. Now, that beeping is actually a good way to continue, because I heard that yesterday too, and that, yes, a while ago actually, it started beeping, and that is an indication of that the battery may be running out. In this case, I've taken out the old one and it's going to exchange it for the new one. The old one is the green one, and the one with the E, or the upside down E, is the new one. But before that, you need to, once you have taken it down, at least try to clean it, and you should try to test this at least once a month after you've changed the battery or after you've been away for a while, and you should also try this after every time you clean. And the reason you clean it is because a dirty smoke detector will be a bit more sensitive and can alert to, well, basically when there's no smoke. Basically its sensors won't be as precise or notice smoke. Or it will notice, but it will alert sometimes to when there's no smoke around. And you clean it with a soft, damp rag, and you vacuum clean it on the lowest setting and with a soft vacuum brush. So now we will turn in and put in the new battery, and we'll turn this around. Hopefully you'll see from my hand, and this is how it's going to look. You see a photoelectric smoke alarm. This is the one that I'm using here, and this one is that it will send out a beam of LED light that, if broken by smoke, will react to it and alarm us to that there may be an indication of fire, or just we have left something on the stove for too long and that is starting to smoke and maybe to out and burn. And you also see the marking EN 14604. That is the standard marking that you need to have for this to be allowed to use in Europe. This entire video is spoken out of a Swedish perspective. So if you are in another country, you will have to check what's in this, what is needed for the fire, the smoke detector to be allowed to be in use in your own country. But as I said, this marking is in Europe, in every country in Europe, so that's fine. And as you see, you do not toss this in regular trash. If it's out of date, broken, or doesn't work anymore, you recycle it as a electrical trash. And usually you change these from the Swedish way. You change it at least every 8 years. That is the lifespan of these. There are probably ones that live longer as well, but this one has 8 years. And I've spoken to my landlord, and he has new ones that I will be request from him, but this one works for now. When it comes to that though, it is on both, from Swedish law perspective, it's both on you and the landlord if you are renting to make sure that these are basically in place. It's on the landlord to ensure that that the fire safety things are in place, but it's also your job kind of to check that they work. And you check them, you tell the landlord, and he must go and fix it so that they still function. But as for the smoke detectors, if it's basically broken and won't work anymore, you just tell your landlord and he should give you a new one. Remember, Swedish perspective. Now though, we will put in the battery again, and hopefully, oops, sorry, I am missing. There we go. And hopefully this will work. Plus to plus, minus to minus. Put it in. There we go. Now we put it down. Hopefully this will work. There we go. It's in, put a bit there, and it's done. And as for the old battery, put it in the proper recycling for batteries Do not toss it in the woods. Do not toss it in your burnable trash. Take it to the proper place where they will take care of it. Yes, I am saying it. And now when everything is in, we are gonna go and put this up again and also test it, and I will talk more about the placement of this. And we'll do that now. And here we are. It's time to put the good old smoke detector back up. This time I need a stool to reach up there. Sometimes it may be higher and then you need to have a ladder. Please be 2 when you do reach for that though, since it may be unstable. So for me it's time to get up on the stool or the chair, whatever you want to call it. There we are, and now we need to make sure that everything's aligned properly. There we go. And now it sits. We can just check again. Good. And now it's up there. So I'm just going down for a bit so we can see the placement a bit better. Sorry about the finger there. Basically, for placement, you need to think about it. The smoke detector needs to be at least 50 centimeters out from the wall or in the middle of a room. For example, maybe right there. In this case, I need to tell my landlord, since he needs to put it up again so that it's better out. And also, you can, it's better to have it in the roof, but you can place it on the wall about 15 centimeters down from the roof. I don't know what that is in inches, so please don't ask me. The problem is just it's not as effective because, as everyone knows, heat and smoke rises up, which means before the smoke detector can detect the smoke, it will become a pretty thick layer of smoke. So always put it in the ceiling, that will be the best. And also the minimum space between 2 smoke detectors is 12 meters. More than that you need to have 2. And in my case, my apartment is a lot longer than 12 meters. So I need to have 1 in the kitchen, 1 at least adjacent to the bedroom, would be better, and 1 in the living room, because that way I have everything covered. And if you have a 2-story building, you need to have at least 1 on each floor, so to speak. And if your house is very big, you need to also check that. I will, as I said, add links to website, and if I hadn't said it, then I say it now, to different kind of websites. For us Swedes, I will link to Brandvarnare and what they write about smoke detectors. And I will also pick an English site called First Alert or Fire Alert. I don't recall what it's called now, but you will see down there, and it will also talk about how smoke detectors are, where to place them and stuff like that, and other stuff too, of course, if you want to check around. Also a reminder, I always speak from a Swedish perspective and what they think or we think need to be safety enough. But enough about that. Now it's time to try this baby. So we go up here, I'll bend my legs a bit, and now we push the test button here and hold it in. And it works just fine. Now we know that it functions, it has been cleaned, the battery has been changed, and then I have to just make an appointment for next time, or next month basically, to make sure that it functions. But other than that, I don't think there is much else to talk about. This is a very cheap life insurance for any private person, really. So with that said, I hope this helps you a bit, this video, and that it doesn't give you any anxiety or something like that. I hope it helps you know a bit more about these and how they work, how you clean them, how you place them. And yes, that was it. As I said, very cheap life insurance for if you forget to blow out a candle, turn off your stove, or if something falls out of your fireplace, it starts to burn, smoke rises, the smoke detector alerts to it, you wake up, can either put it out if the fire is small enough, or you get out of the house and call the fire department. But other than that, I just want to say a quick reminder, please take care of yourself in these times as they are. And as always, I always point out, please remember to extinguish your fireplaces, turn off your stoves, and blow out the candles before you leave your home or before you go to bed. Now with that said, this is Northern Firefighter signing off. Have a pleasant day, everyone.